All right, hello everybody. My name is Dr. Tran. As you can see, I just showed some push-up and exercise. And the topic of today is we work out, we run, we exercise our body, but what's missing? And lately I have a lot of patients come in and complain about cramps. And many of my patients, maybe include some of you, have a huge knot right here on your trap, upper trap and shoulder. So the talk today is what are they, why are they tight, how come I keep stretching, I don't get more flexible, and then trigger points and how they form and how we can improve those issues with diet, eating. And the key word is electrolyte. So that's the key word for the day, electrolyte. What are they and where do we get from and how does it affect our body and why do we need more and more of electrolyte these days? All right, once again, welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining us today. And remember, always, if you like what I'm talking about, you'd like to have more topic on what you want me to talk about, do not hesitate to put comment below, subscribe to us, and let us know how we can improve and get more useful information to you. All right, so let's talk about electrolyte. So electrolyte are the essential mineral that our body needed to use for proper function. And not the most people think when you think about electrolyte, they think about muscle. When your muscle contract, they have to have ATP, energy, right? So the muscle make up thousands, a million little wheel. So when if energy come in, the wheel turn, that's how we contract our muscle. So muscle only do one thing, contract and relax. To contract muscle, you have to have energy. But to relax the contraction of the muscle, you have to have electrolyte. And they're including calcium, magnesium, and potassium. So those three main, but we have many other minerals that the body require for uses. Now, why do we have more and more, need more and more electrolyte? Well, number one, we use a lot more. Number two, we don't have enough from our food and our water. So when we spend electrolyte, this is how we spend electrolyte. Let's say if we sit on a computer, because when you think about electrolyte, you think about muscle usage. You only think about working out or exercise. Well, as soon as we get up in the morning, or even we live again gravity, right? So what is holding you up all day, every day? Your muscle. Just like you turn on the car, the engine running, what came out? Carbon monoxide, right? Smoke. Well, same thing with muscle uses. I'm sitting like this. For me to sit like this, all my muscle actually lifting me up and they work again gravity. So from here and here, so if I'm sitting like that, adding this to there, what's holding my arm, my neck and everything up? Muscle. Just like when you turn on the car, even though you're not driving it, if the car is still running, carbon monoxide still build up, right? So when your muscle are using, lactic acid build up. Lactic acid is the byproduct of muscle uses. And electrolyte help to neutralize some of those, plus oxygens. So if I sit like this for 8, 10, 12 hour a day, the amount of electrolyte is needed to neutralize all the lactic acid buildup in my body is tremendous. But when you think about it, look at the source that we get intake. So we spend a lot, right? But do we get them back? Well, our food. Well, yes, most of the electrolyte came from where? From food. Fruit, vegetables, water. But remember, water came from the ground, so they turn up mineral in the ground. But now a lot of the water we drink recycle, right? If we just clean them up and recycle, but they don't add stuff into it, not stuff that's good for you, not electrolyte, unless you buy bottled water where some company put in some additional electrolyte and charge you an arm and leg. For example, Gatorade, right, or some sport drink, they have electrolyte in it, but also they have, what else do they have in it? Sugar. You don't need more sugar. Your body can make and produce sugar. They cannot make and produce electrolyte. So, if you add more electrolyte to help the muscle, but you also bring in more sugar to damage your body more, the benefit and the risk is, I don't know which one is more important, right? So the salt electrolyte, even the fruit and vegetable, if you notice that some fruit that grow on a tree and ripe on a tree taste much better Why? Because they have time to gather all the electrolyte from the ground. But sadly, in this country, most of the fruit or vegetable are mass produced. So the soil, the ground they grow in is not fertile anymore. Because think about it, doesn't matter how fertile a garden or a farm is. You grow the same crop for 10, 20, 30, 40 years with 100,000 plant. You run out, you drain out all the resources. That's why a lot of the fruit now doesn't taste as good as it used to be anymore, because it doesn't have time and it doesn't have the resource that it suck in. So the source of electrolyte, so that's why eating healthy is a lot more complex than we think. It's simple, but it's complex because is your food actually is nutritious as it's supposed to be. And that's why more and more people have to take supplements, vitamins, and minerals. People say, oh, does it work? Well, it works, but you have to make sure you take what they say you're taking, because good food are not cheap. Organic food are already not cheap. But if you get vitamins and mineral that not come from a good quality resources, then how does it actually do you any good? So you have to balance between the output and input, right? Just like if you make money less than you spend, you own a debt to the bank or somewhere. If we use a lot more in our body when we put it in, what happened over time is we start owning debt to the body. So the body doesn't perform as good. And that's where you have cramp, when you have injury. Because for you to have cramp, you have to be severely deficient. For example, if every day I sit around, I use my body, including everything, let's say 16 hours, right? I sleep for 7, 8 hours. I own the body 8 hours extra. So every day multiply that over years and years and years, and you wonder why your body gets stiffer and sore and ache. It's not about aging. It's about deficiency, severely deficiency. Because when your muscle's tight, it doesn't unlock what happened. You create more friction, right? So if you're just stretching the muscle, but externally you stretch the muscle to make it elongate, but there's no electrolyte come in to unlock the wheel of the muscle so that it doesn't get locked up like this, what good does that do? Doesn't matter how much exercise I try to do or stretch out. If I don't have enough electrolyte in my body, I don't have any vitamins for the body to repair the damage on the tendon, on the muscle, it actually have the opposite effect. Because it doesn't matter what you do, if you use your muscle, you burn energy, you add more lactic acid buildup. And the only way to help neutralize that is intake more electrolyte. Because people ask me all the time, Dr. Tran, how much electrolyte do I need? Well, everyone is different. So you ask me how much gas do I need on my car? Well, depending on what car you have. If you have electric, you don't need no gas. But say if you have a hybrid, you need a lot less gas. But if you have a truck, it takes a lot more gas. So if you're big, strong, a lot of muscle, and you work out every day, you need tremendous amount of electrolyte. But if you're not very active, but that's the other thing too. Not only people that work out need electrolyte. People sit on a computer with poor posture, you need a lot of electrolyte. Because who's holding you up all day long? Some muscle somewhere. And those guys work tremendous because you have good posture, you kind of balance yourself out, you have front and back muscle work together. But if you're slouching like this front's kind of pull you down. But these guys work like 3 or 4 or 5 times more than, if you work every part of the body evenly. And that's the importance of posture that we don't realize. It's a little thing that over time will kill it. We call it micro-trauma because it's so small, but it's constant. That's why we don't notice that, you wake up one day and also my neck hurt, my back hurt, did I sleep wrong last night? No, it's not just the sleeping wrong. It's that slowly add the muscle tighter every day, but it's so gradual that you can detect the difference. And then to the point where your body have no more room, to move, that's when you have ache and pain. So yeah, so electrolyte is extremely important. In some instances, it can lead to death because, you know, that's what happened with dehydration. Your brain shut down because your brain needs to have electrolyte to send signal as well to communicate with the rest of the body. Your heart is a muscle, so they need electrolyte. So you have to start thinking about how do I increase my electrolyte intake. Electrolyte are not expensive, but just make sure you have a good quality. And some of them absorb better than other. But add it to your water. If you drink a lot of water, but the water doesn't have electrolyte in it, then it might have the opposite effect as well. Because if your water doesn't have electrolyte and you drink a lot of water, they actually dilute your body, so they actually take out some electrolyte as well. And same thing with eating a lot of fiber. You know, fiber is good for you in some way, but it does also draw out electrolyte, like calcium, magnesium, potassium. Especially after COVID, if you have any kind of, you know, COVID infections, your body needs tremendous amount of magnesium. If you're thinking, okay, a few years ago I'm okay, now after about 3 or 4 hours working, you know, my head's a little cloudy, I couldn't think, that might be a sign that you're deficient in magnesium. So, you know, just increase the intake of magnesium. Right, so we talk about how we get deficient of electrolyte and how do we get more of it? Well, we talked about food earlier. So make sure you have high quality food, avocado, coconut water, but same thing, you make sure you get a good quality. The coconut water, make sure it's 100%, you know, natural, no added sugar or preservative, anything like that. And then avocados, broccoli, kale, a lot of green vegetables have a lot of electrolyte, but same thing. Make sure you know where the produce come from. So increase your intake of fruit and vegetable, and you don't have to increase, you know, like a lot, but let's say if you increase every day, you add more strawberry, more drinks like a cup of coconut water every meal. So make it more 1 avocado every day. Just make it consistent. Because sometimes you might see my video, you might go home and say, oh, let me do that, and you do it for a couple of days, a week, and you forgot about it. No, this is it's a lifelong thing. So you might as well just make it into a good habit of, okay, I had 1 avocado every day, or, you know, twice a week, whatever that is. But when you change it, make small change, but make it consistent. And then if you can, you know that you're too busy, you don't have time to increase in terms of fruit and vegetable, then you need to buy some tablet powder, and there's a ton of them out there. Same thing, make sure you have the good quality electrolyte, either a tablet or powder, and, you know, talk to somebody who know nutritionist or someone who have, you know, specialty in diet, so they can advise you on how much you need to take. But remember, you don't have to work out to take electrolyte. We all need electrolytes, and then women need slightly more different type of electrolyte than men. So it's better just to consult someone so that they can give you advice on, you know, where to take, what to buy, and how much to take. Yogurt also have ton of electrolyte. Cheese, you know, qualities. Cheese also have ton of calcium and things like that. And then another source of you see a lot now is a lot of commercial on electrolyte, like Gatorade or Powerade, or some of this Costco, they sell some of these powder you add into water. I think they're all good, except you have to make sure you know what you put in your body. Anything that have added sugar, preservative, not good for your body. You don't need those stuff. So try to find things that are more natural. Anything with packaging is not the best idea, but, you know, find the better one than the rest. But anything that has sugar, remember, you do not need any sugar added to any drink, any yogurt, anything like that. And if you tend to don't want to, you know, gain weight, even better, then find anything that had, you know, no sugar added. When do you best time to take electrolyte? I mean, anytime. In the morning, I usually take some in the morning and some before bed, especially if you have some trouble sleeping. Magnesium before bed is really soothing and calming. The other way you can also use some electrolyte is, you know, Epsom salt bath with magnesium powder. It's soothing the muscle, it's soothing ache and pain, and it's calm your body down. So that is most all I have for electrolyte today. But if I forget anything, leave anything out, if you have any additional questions about electrolyte, feel free to drop me a comment below, subscribe to our channel, and I'm more than happy to get it up for you guys next time.